Welcome back to Sales Life.
Hello.
This episode is all about inner excellence. And Sean, why don't you introduce this book?
Jim Murphy, Inner
Yes.
Excellence. Okay, so this book is the one that football player, I can't remember his name.
Was reading it on the sideline.
He was reading on the sidelines. He's a receiver. I think he's on the Eagles. He's a great player. Maybe Antonio Brown.
AJ Brown.
Yes,
I don't know.
I don't know. Not Antonio Brown. Okay, but he was reading on the sidelines. It made national attention, and which is interesting when you just think of like kismet moments or something like it. Kind of launched this book into the national awareness, and I heard about it. I heard people talking about it, so I picked it up. Inner Excellence. Train your mind for extraordinary performance and the best life possible. So I thinking it's a book about, how to be your best self and, achieve the best possible results you can in sports or in business. And it is some of that, but it's also completely not that at all. And when I say I didn't get like, it has an intro and it has a preface before an intro. I got more out of the preface than I have out of most books. Yes. And then the intro, then it has presuppositions, and then it has an intro, and then you have chapter 1. I underlined so much just through the first chapter that it kind of blew me away.
So I think if you're listening to this podcast, you're definitely thinking, I want to be, or maybe you should be thinking, I want to be a high performer. Do you want to be a high performer, Sean? Does that sound worth it? It doesn't sound like it's your cup of tea necessarily.
I think I want to be the absolute highest performer.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah. I think, there's that saying, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't want to be the best commercial real estate broker, but I want to squeeze every ounce of potential out of my life that I can.
I love this.
Yeah. So some of that will take place on the field of commercial real estate brokerage.
Yeah.
But I would venture to guess that's probably a smaller percentage.
Yeah.
Compared to the other arenas that I operate in.
And so to introduce this topic, let me say this then. So it sounds like you're taking one of two paths. So let's say for the sake of this conversation, you can go down a path, and I think this is how Jim would say. Jim, by the way, was a Major League Baseball player, right? So wanted to be the highest performer, wanted to win. The jersey meant a lot to him. He wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. It's sort of that journey, at least I haven't read the whole book, but the early chapters, into discovering the implications of that, the byproduct of trying to live a life that's based on achievement. So essentially there's... To begin the topic, I think you look at there's one of two ways to live, one of two roads to go down, if you will. On one side, you've got external. So you are looking at, okay, I'm living in a way where I'm noticed based on external elements, achievements, and it's a lot of what the outside world, what you can produce, what the outside world says about your work. And that would basically go into the idea of like, I'm putting on a lot of display with the car I drive, the money I make.
Right. The outward status symbols,
So it's outward status symbols. It's about, I win. Yeah. I do nothing but win, right? It sounds like Kurt Signetti.
Right. The whole world.
Google me.
Every business, every sport.
Which he's super cool, by the way. But
I'm sure.
So that's one road.
Yep.
The other road, the one you're describing, is more of a narrow, riskier path. And it basically is a road of inner development and winning through freedom.
Yeah.
Where there are no hollow wins. Yeah, winning is a byproduct of,
right. So that the paradox is people think there are two roads. There's actually just the same road in a way. I mean, in true sales life fashion, we have not prepared at all.
No,
we met each other for
the first time
4 hours ago.
That's right.
We're in person. We're in my home. We're enjoying a celebratory drink before we go to dinner. And we want to talk about inner excellence because, I don't know, that's what I'd like to do on a Saturday night. And that's just the truth. I would.
That literally is what we're doing on a Saturday
and
night.
this fire would be on if it wasn't 90 degrees out. But
inner excellence.
Since we haven't prepared, we thought we'd just take the book and, there's parts in here that we've each have underlined and we'll just talk about it.
Yes.
But when you talk about the two paths, so the very first thing I underlined in my, this is Roman numeral something or other, because we're not even in page 1 yet. He says, the insight that he had, I realized that the pursuit of extraordinary performance and the pursuit of the best possible life are the same path.
Yes.
Right. So you say, do you want to perform at the highest levels? It's the same. I want the best life possible.
That's right.
Whether you get one or multiple lives, other people can figure that out. But from my perspective, I get this one, and I want to make sure that I use it well.
Yes, the notes I took around that, which I agree with that point. Real performance and life fulfillment are the same path. So, meaning, and I always think back to what was I thinking when I started in trying to be high performance sales? It was close deals, be successful.
Right.
I want to be someone.
Right.
Right. I want people to see that I can do this. And I still think that. Right. And that's the wrong way to approach it. The right way to approach it is, how can I do this to be fulfilled in life?
Yeah.
And what would that mean? What would it mean if I felt fulfilled?
It's funny because your wrong way of approaching it matches your personality. It's not at all my wrong. I never thought of that, commercial real estate brokerage that way at all. I was never I want to do it so people could look at me and think I'm doing it well. In general, the less people look at me, the happier I am. Just in general, I'm an introvert,
yes,
the whole thing. For me, it was, I want to make as much money as possible to secure my own future, just to survive. It's bottom line. I just want to survive. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's all on my shoulders to make a life for myself, to provide for myself, to secure my family.
Right.
And so that survival instinct ramps up a lot when you have, children, a wife, kids that you're responsible for. So for me, the weight of that was okay. So that's what was driving me. But, as the book talks about, that too is a wrong motivator.
Right.
It's ego to think it's all, in the book he defines fear, and maybe we'll get into it, as self-centeredness.
Yes.
That blew my mind, man.
That is one of the best parts. And why does he describe it as self-centeredness?
I could relate, in my context, it's because I thought it was all on me. As I just said, everything is on me. My survival, my life, everything is on me to figure out. So I'm focused on me making it happen.
Well, and I thought, so here's what I would say to our audience. Are you insecure in any kind of a way that impairs you? I probably the best thing you could journal about.
Yeah.
Right at the top of a page. Insecurities that cause impairment in any way, shape, or form in my life, right? Because to me, that was one of the most profound points he made in this, and I don't know exactly which quote, but self-centeredness leads to fear because it makes you self-conscious, right? So, what ways are you self-conscious? That goes back to fear.
Yeah.
And I have tried in my own life, and every younger person I talk to that's asking for advice in any way, shape, or form, I'm tackle the ways that you're self-conscious.
Mm-hmm. Self-conscious, conscious of self, meaning your attention is on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. I overanalyze everything. It's difficult for me to make decisions.
You too?
Guess what that's a byproduct of? Being self-conscious. Because you don't have a judgment. You can't, you're well, I don't know if I'm right or wrong or whatever, so I'm self-conscious, so I'm a perfectionist or...
Yeah. You're scared of making the wrong decision.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're right. This part of the breakthrough of this book is you tackle fear.
You do. Fear is self-centeredness. It's thinking that it's looking at yourself primarily, and thinking that your life is based on yourself. Whether serving yourself or putting all the weight of making things happen on your own shoulders. Part of the fear is, we equate, I think this is maybe uniquely our American experience, but also just the way of the world, being in a capitalist society, like we're money and stuff, and keeping up with the Joneses, all that kind of creeps in. And then you feel like, okay, I need some of that. I think everybody feels like I need some of that. Mm-hmm. There's probably various degrees, whatever it is. I need that handbag, or I need whatever it is. The self-driving Tesla. Did you bring that up
because I was talking about buying Libby a handbag? Is that why you...
No, but now that you've said that, I think you have to go and do that. Right, but a lot of the stuff you say you need, a lot of it is outside of our control. Right? I need to make that sale happen. Well, there's a lot that's outside of your control. So if you can't control all the externals, but you need that to happen to be okay, well, that's where fear starts ramping up. I know that was true in my life. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so what do you get robbed of? And this is one quote I wrote down. Fear lives in the painful memories of the past and unknown experiences of the future. So basically you're fearful of painful experiences you've had in the past, unknown experiences you might have in the future, i.e. worry. What does that rob you of?
Yeah.
And he writes, taking us out of the unlimited possibilities in the present.
Which only exist in the present moment.
We have to talk about that. Coolest phrase maybe in the book. Yeah. The unlimited possibilities of the present.
It's crazy. Yes. Eckhart Tolle, a guy I read, listen to, would say, nothing, from today's perspective, nothing has happened in the past. It's just you're thinking about the past in the present moment.
Right.
Nothing happens in the future. It happened. The only concept of the future we have is a mental concept we have in this present moment. All we have is this present moment, which is all you need because it opens you up to the miraculous, to divine everything. It's kind of everything. And so when you think okay, I can make my own way. I'm just saying from my life, I can make my own path, my own way of surviving this life, and I can make a nice life for myself. But what am I not seeing? What am I leaving off the table by just steering my own ship, just driving my own car to my own destination? I'm leaving a whole lot out. And with that, I suggest, I've got all these underlines and dog ears. Maybe we just flip to a random page. Why don't we let the present moment just randomly guide us, and we could have a discussion based on this, because there's so much here to talk about in the first third of the book.
Absolutely love it. You flip.
This is
we'll dive into the present moment.
It's like Bible bingo, or what do you do when you open the Bible? And
it's choose your own adventure.
Yes, let's go.
Our next quote.
Okay, I got to find one of the heavily underlined. Oh, I just said this. Attachment to something you're not in complete control of makes you needy and brings with it fear of not getting what you want.
Right.
So the question I'd have is how much of my life is attached? He defines this as, he says palms. Possessions, achievements, looks, money, and status.
Yeah. Those are the external, meaning that was the road of the external road versus the internal inner excellence road.
And you know what? You have no control over those things. Yeah. You think you do, and you may have control over some of it for a time being. Looks, it says looks, physical appearance. You could have it all. But, Father Time always wins. Your strength will fail. Mm-hmm. Your good looks will fade. Mm-hmm. You can't control that.
That's right.
That is going to happen.
Yeah, and I think everyone who's ever been studied or worth studying, I've read a bunch of biographies in my life. I love them. presidential biographies, especially, and but I just learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
And I think if you dig into, really the people that get a book written about their life, my theory is they were all experts at the present moment. Like, I could throw some of them out, unless they're being written about for a negative purpose. But if they were able to connect with people and able to lead, I think it's because they understood that that's what you have.
But don't you think like that's getting harder and harder to exist in the present moment?
Yes. Thus why it's more important to train. Like, for example, I'm telling you, I'm talking with you right now. I'm not thinking about my phone at all.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but I'm saying if you can't do that in life, like that's not. I'm stuck behind this mic. I need you to hit me. You have to work on that.
Yeah.
And I tell my kids that all the time. Like if you can't have a conversation with someone without thinking, like, well, what's going on in that? You're missing it. You have what he calls, and I'll introduce this phrase into the conversation, the freedom of an undivided heart, not attached to results or judgment of others in what people say.
Oh my God. I'm like the worst judge I'm like a human judgment machine. You know who's not like that at all? You know who has an undivided heart?
Abe Lincoln. Sorry, I said the first person.
And my wife. You know who can't multitask?
Your
for
wife,
the life of her is my wife. And I always think like in my mind I'm like, why can't she multitask? And then I'm like, damn it.
Jess is like Abe Lincoln.
Honest Jess is what I call her.
Yeah.
You know, she does one thing at a time and she gives it her full attention. I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing. I try to get to that. Yeah, I think not. So you know John Mark Comer, the book, The Relentless Elimination of Hurry.
Oh, I've heard of that book.
Okay, it's a good book. I get most of everything from a book from the intro. And, that's probably why I don't even finish book. Disclaimer: I haven't even fully read Inner Excellence.
Me neither.
I've read about half.
We're gonna read it though. We're gonna read the whole thing.
Maybe. But John Mark Comer says the giving one's attention is the first act of worship. So this is a book about your life with God. Giving one's attention is the first act of worship. The primary act of worship. Like the idea is giving someone or something your attention. Like spiritual text would say, your attention is who you are, literally who you are. Your thoughts aren't who you are. Your emotion, we know this, right? Your emotions aren't who you are. We're told to ignore your emotions and, push past your comfort zone.
Right.
Your thoughts is just this, computer in your head that's speaking to you, trying to keep you alive. Your attention, you get to direct your attention. In the present moment is hard to do. And as social media becomes, more and more ingrained into our society, it's harder to keep your attention in the present real world.
Right.
Digital world tries to suck our attention, which when you think about it, it tries to suck the essence of who we are into a screen, which is wild. It's really wild. It's wild.
No, what you're saying is that's high performance. High performers are in the moment.
Yeah.
They have a undivided heart, which I love that phrase.
Yeah.
And I want to throw a phrase at you. The other phrase that I really took away from this that I love is the idea of total absorption. You remember that part?
Yeah.
Did you see that part?
Yeah.
So people that can experience or bring about total absorption in their lives, they learn to experience key events fully, vividly, and selflessly with complete concentration.
Well, they experience them. I mean, that's the first part. They actually experience them.
Yes.
Yeah. So much of what we do, again, I don't want to say we, I just say me. So much of what I do, it gets filtered through my mind. And my mind, when I'm in a cool experience, have you ever been on vacation and you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then you start trying to think and plan like the next vacation. Like, how do I get back here? Or you look up, dude, or you pull out Redfin and you're like, how do I get a house here?
I hate that life. Yes, you're describing my life.
Okay.
Here's what, for me, remember your point, save your point. But I'll tell you how it works out for me. It's like seasons. So it's always like right now I'm like, I can't wait until Christmas in Lexington, Kentucky is like my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
And then as it approaches and I start to be like, yeah, but spring break is great with the kids.
So you're always looking forward. And
right now I'm looking at like spring break is what's next.
Right.
But I'm like, well, fall football games though are going to be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like you just can't, no, don't do that. Yeah. What's the present moment? But anyway, what was your point on that?
I don't know. I forgot. I was wrapped up in the present. So wrapped up in the present moment.
I hate that I did that. But here's the thing though. If you have to force yourself, this is one of the notes I took about this, the idea of total absorption.
Yeah.
Experiencing events fully, vividly, selflessly. That's not forcing yourself off social media for 15 minutes to meet with someone. There's a huge difference. So if you're 25 years old out there and you're thinking like, I like what these guys are saying, I want to develop inner excellence. If you're whatever, if you're 100 years old. But like my whole point is this is not like, okay, I'm going to force myself away from my phone for a minute. This is something that changes.
Yeah, this is different.
About your inner self.
Yeah.
You're aware of your soul. Like you're able to experience a moment fully, vividly, and selflessly.
Yeah.
That's different.
I would say that's not something you can try to do. You know what I mean? Like you could try and make yourself experience a moment fully, vividly, and like
right.
But you can't I don't think you could like fake that.
Oh,
right?
sure.
So, you know what I mean? Like
sure.
This is different quality of what we're talking about.
Right.
I'm kind of back to that point. So you're on vacation, you're planning the next vacation, you're having magical Christmas in Lexington, Kentucky, and you're thinking about spring break, right? I think as we filter things through our mind, as we filter real life experiences, I'm sitting with you through our mind. My mind would take me to, okay, what's the next thing I'm going to say? I'm sitting here with you, I'm thinking about what's the next point. As I'm on vacation, I'm thinking about how could I get back here, right? As I do that, my attention is focused on my thoughts. Everything is filtered through my mind, and I literally miss just the reality of being in this moment because I'm trying to get for myself more of it by my own means. So I start planning to get more of it.
Yeah.
And in the process, I miss the whole thing. And I'd say that's probably a succinct definition of my entire life up until this point. It's like planning to secure for more of it for myself, but missing the whole damn thing.
Yeah. I think that's profound. I really do.
Yeah.
Here's what he says. For such people, so let's say you're able to experience total absorption. For such people, even the casual workday, moment-to-moment business of living can be thrilling. Like we should ask ourselves. Let's ask each other right now.
I'm thrilled every day at work.
Is the moment-to-moment business? Do you know why my moment-to-moment business for the most part is not thrilling? Because I never freaking feel like I'm doing enough.
Why?
Because I haven't hit a certain number of goals probably or whatever. Like I just, many times when I leave the office, I'm like, I don't feel like, did I get anything done today? Like I got there, I picked up the phone at 8:30. Next thing I know, it's 5:45.
So he would say it's because our thoughts affect every aspect of our lives.
Right.
So you think you need to, and so it like destroys your present moment.
Right. Like I think I need to do more or be more or have hit a certain goal versus like, what were the opportunities that God brought up today? And was I totally absorbed in the moments of, making them happen or whatever?
Right. Yeah, I wrote down here, I just said to my kids, yesterday, driving them to school, I said, believing lies is the source of all misery in life. Yeah. I mean, in my own life, everything that is like all the fear, self-doubt, getting down on myself, self-criticism, it all comes in from believing lies. So if the lie is like, I need to produce more because I need to make my own path in life. Yeah. That's a lie that creates anxiety and angst for me. The truth would be the universe, like God, the earth provides for me. Right. I just know you would say what I would say, the absolute most amazing and precious thing in our lives are our kids. Right. I didn't make my kids. I really didn't. You know, I didn't form their eyeballs and their pancreas and all that. I don't know how to make that happened. And I get to experience it. And then somehow I treat it like a burden, like, oh, I better do that well. I'll just say for me, like I get stressed over the way I'm parenting. You know, they should be, it's up to me to make sure that, you know, it's like, dude, chill out. Like this is for me, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Chill out, Dad. Yeah. I don't say chill out. My kids do. Yeah, but it's the sources, you know, believing lies. Yeah, in the lies, everything you described again. If you're focused on yourself, those things happen, right? So that self. This is a new concept for me from this book. The self-centeredness leading to insecurity, leading to those problems, and tackling that is a huge deal. Right. That's a great message to anyone listening to this. Yeah. Like you tackle selflessness in your life, you're going to be less insecure. Mm-hmm. You're going to be freer. You're going to be a better performer. Everything in your life will be better. You know, you probably won't even care about being an amazing performer on certain, you know, in certain arenas. Like what I love he says about this, and I may not be able to find it, but he says it's not about winning the game, making the sale, the most amount of money possible, whatever it is. This is about experiencing life in its absolute fullness, full peace, full joy, full presence, full courage to show up and just be in the real moment. I mean, that is such a different context to think through. Dude, that's what I want. And like what you're describing is the life I want. I'm going to find it. That's why I'm super pumped to read this. Like I think if you're living that way, the quote unquote winning is a total byproduct. Winning is a byproduct. Yeah. Of that, and that's the whole point, right? Because like we both are like, I want to be really good at selling commercial real estate. I am good. I'm good at selling it, right? I want to get better. Yeah. And there are wins associated with that, right? But the way that this experience of sales life and what we're doing to improve the sales life through friendship and, you know, what I'm thinking and journaling through is that, no, that's not what I want ultimately. What I want is inner excellence and peace and joy and total absorption and all those things. And the winning in the deals, it's all a byproduct of Dude, that. I think that's it. If honestly, I used to have this pastor back when we went to church. He would say, I got to pick this up. Let me help you again. My book fell again. And my mic my servant keeps me. The pastor would say, hey, if you can only remember one thing out of all these words I just said, remember this. I think it's super valuable to ask yourself why and to keep asking yourself why. In all the things you do. Like you said, I just want to be the best at, you know, commercial real estate or whatever the thing is. And the question is why? Right? I would say it this way. Everybody thinks they want $1 million. Nobody wants $1 million. No, there's not a person on earth that cares about having $1 million. You got $100 bill stacked in $1 million in front of you. That does nothing for you. Unless you were really cold and you could burn it to heat yourself up. Like that $1 million will buy you things. Let's say you're, you know, on the verge of homelessness and food insecure, that $1 million buys you, actual things,
right.
food, rent, what, all that. Let's say, you're not, but it buys you, in your mind, is buying you security. For me, it'd be about security. For you, it might be about like feeling like you've made it. Like you just keep at, why do I want $1 million? For me, it goes like this. So then I will feel secure. Well, why? Like, why would you feel secure then? You kind of keep peeling it back. The answer is like, well, I probably don't feel secure now. Like I feel like it's on me to make it all happen. Right. So there's a lie in there somewhere. Mm-hmm. And if you just fix that lie, you could fix a whole lifetime of pursuit of material things that probably don't matter a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. How do you fix the lie?
You have to be exposed to the truth.
Yeah, that's good.
Which
is why we would suggest reading this book, right?
You know what? And I would say you can't do it on your own. Yeah, like I think you need to do that in relationship with others, partnership with God. Like I think you talk about a starting point, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, higher power, greater being than me, whatever's out there. If I'm believing any lies, can you just show them to me? Start there. I'll bet you any amount of money he won't refuse that prayer. God, whatever the entity you want to call it, the universe, the prayer will be answered. You will see the lies that you're believing, and it may become pretty painful, but you're going to see the lies.
And what I would say is take the time to reflect. Right? Like if you're so caught up in performance and the drive, you are literally saying to yourself, I don't have 10 minutes to stop, at the beginning of the day and maybe listen to a scripture or, read something on your phone or whatever, if that's not your cup of tea, or just open the journal in a blank page, say, what am I going to do today and why? And then look at the why to decide if at the end of your life, would that still matter? Like, right. No one at the end of their life is talking about specific, in our business, specific deals or numbers or, hey, I remember that deal or remember the year I set the record and beat out my whatever, right? No one's talking about that stuff. They're talking about family and human connection and significance and achievement. And here's the cool part too, that I think people throw the baby out with the bathwater. They're also thinking about their work. Like it's not a bad thing to say that I do something in an excellent way. And I do it to, personally for me, again, can't put this in people's mouths or whatever, but I know you would say this, is like, I do this work in a way that honors God. And that matters. And I am aware of some of the gifts that are in me, and I'm exercising those because they were given to me. I didn't create them, as you said. I didn't make them. So I'm doing it as an act of worship. Yeah. Right? And it happens to be in this arena where it's not like, okay, it's a secular arena. Fine. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. Like I think that's right and true and good. So try to, this year in 2026, if you're listening to this may be the year you define the why. Like, why am I actually doing this stuff?
The sooner you can ask yourself that, the less years get wasted. Right? I think how many years, I've pursued just making a lot of money for myself so I could be secure. When all along, I'm secure because, God lets me live another day on this earth every day. Like, right. And I don't need to make it all happen. I don't need to dig out and carve the road ahead of me and then walk the path. Like, it just happens. And again, I would say it just, the byproduct of thinking it's all on my shoulders is it just kind of makes me stressed out and ruins the whole experience for me. and those closest to me. So, yeah.
Yes. So, I think, let me know if you have any last thoughts, but as we sort of wrap up this intro into this book, and I think we can come back and, talk list and actually look at the profile. I think this will be extremely helpful because we're not just reading this, like we're going to apply it to our lives. So like if you're out there in selling buildings or leasing buildings, you're going to get some very hands-on application.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all this being said, the greater vision is you improve your inner life. You come to terms with who you are. You find that peace and joy. And I think the picture he's painting is your performance goes to the next step up.